What's going on, folks? So I took a little break just to kind of refresh and whatnot, but I'm back now. And I had a band reach out to me. They're called Mythril, and they asked if I would check out a couple of their songs from their new EP. And they asked because the one song has kind of like an intro. Like one of the songs is an intro song that goes into the next song, and they said that it just works really well together. So that's what I'm doing here. The songs are called Obertura, which is followed by Cisma. I'm really, really curious to check this out. So without further ado, let's give these bad boys a listen, shall we? Rangers, go. Wow. Quite the ending there with the instrumentals and the guitar and all that good stuff. But yeah, I mean the intro work it did work really really well, kind of building into the main song, Cisma or what have you. So yeah, I can see why the band kind of likes them going together because the instrumentals and whatnot in the intro song, Obertura, were really cool. The symphonic elements, the guitar work, all of that stuff I really, really enjoyed, and that carried over into Cisma. So I won't talk too much about Obertura because a lot of those elements work their way into Cisma. So I'll mainly focus on that one. But yeah, I mean, it was a really great intro, really sets the stage, sets the mood, and just everything that's established there carries forward. So I really, really love the guitar work. I mean, there's some great melodies, great riffs. There's a real heaviness to the song, and I love that. Like it's headbanging. It's a bit, I would say, structure wise, or just even with like technicality. I mean, it is quite technical, and maybe that's why I kind of say there's a bit of prog in there, along with like a heavy kind of power metal style. There's definitely some prog evident, just again in that technicality, the way things kind of shift and change throughout, and it's kind of cool. Like it keeps you on your toes, but it keeps moving. Like there's still like a nice overarching rhythm to the song, even though you got little bits where it'll kind of shift and change and throw you for a loop a little bit, but there's still, just like I said, an overarching rhythm that kind of carries throughout everything here. And yeah, I mean the guitar work was awesome, really really awesome. The symphonic elements I thought were done super well. They're not overly done or anything. They're just there to kind of accentuate certain spots, certain elements. There's like some string in spots and some other things elsewhere that just help make the song pop, add kind of depth to the sound. The drum work also was really phenomenal. The fills, the different beats, and again, how I said before, there's a lot of like technicality here, a lot of nuance woven throughout, and a lot of shifts in like tempo and everything. But the drums just did a really great job of handling all of that. And so, yeah, I'm always really impressed with the kind of drumming that you hear in this song, where it's complex. So love that. The bass also did a great job. There's a couple spots where the bass really gets a chance to shine, and so everything, every element really got to be showcased throughout these two songs. And I love that. I love when songs are kind of written that way, where everything is woven in, everything works really well together, but you also get a chance to kind of individually hear everything shine. So yeah, really, really a phenomenal job. Musically, I just love this song. Again, that the heaviness, the intricacies of it, it just had a really cool energy, a really cool vibe that I dug. And then as soon as the vocals come in, which they come in like pretty much right off the rip in Cisma, just it works well with the sound that was already established in Obertura. And there's like an edge to it, a heaviness to it, and it just suits the vibe. And the whole song, like I said, it's very heavy. It's headbanging. There's an aggression to it. It almost feels like it can't be contained, and I think that's one thing that's also really neat about the different movements throughout the intricacies, the different kind of shifts and changes in tempo and just vibe. Some spots are a little bit more aggressive, other spots kind of are a little bit more reserved, and all of this. It almost feels like the song is uncaged, like it can't be contained. And I just thought that was a really, really cool vibe that you could hear all the way throughout. Again, it's like you have this beast almost in a cage, and it's unpredictable almost. It's like breaking out, and you can't hold it down. And that's just like the feeling that I got from this song. And the vocals do a really great job. He's got that nice edge to his voice and a heaviness and aggression to it, and it just suits the whole package. So with all of that being said, the one critique that I do have is that the vocal melodies. All of the vocal melodies kind of just blend together throughout the entire song. There's not, there's no like clearly defined chorus or verse or anything like that. It all just feels kind of just combined. And I would have liked to have had, a chorus or something that stood out a bit more. Because when it first starts and then like the verses are going and whatnot, it's like, yeah, this is nice, this is heavy, it's aggressive, it's punchy. But then you get like what I assume is kind of like the chorus, and it just doesn't change very much. So even though the music is constantly kind of shifting and changing, the vocal melody doesn't, and it leaves it feeling slightly redundant, almost as if you want the vocal melody to go away and just hear the music, which is a shame because I really enjoyed the vocals and all of that. And again, the verses, right off the rip, I was all in for the way he just comes right out the gate with that. But without having like a chorus that's memorable or a chorus that kind of stands out above the verses, something to kind of latch on to. There's a lot of chaos here, and now I will say it's organized chaos. The listener can follow it. It's not too off the wall, but at the same time, you have all of that chaos going, but then you have like the vocal melodies that are pretty linear. It just creates an odd kind of dynamic, an odd feeling where this constantly shifting music is almost clashing with this pretty stagnant vocal melody. So at times it just feels like too much. It almost feels like an onslaught. Like there's not enough of a melody in the vocals, in like the vocal melody. There's just not enough of a melody. It just feels very, very kind of static. Like there's not a lot of movement in the vocal melody, and it just kind of clashes with the opposite within the music. So if there was more of a melody there in the vocals, and I really think just having a chorus that kind of stands out a bit more, like, oh, okay, like a clearly defined chorus where the listener is like, all right, here's the chorus. And then we go back into the verses, and then here's the chorus. But instead, it's all just kind of one. And so that just detracts from the overall sound of the song, in my opinion. So really think just having a bit more of a melody there in the vocals, particularly in the chorus, that would just contribute even more dynamics to an already dynamic song musically, and just help make the song pop just a bit more, because everything else is there. It's all in place. It's great. It just in that vocal melody, just get a bit more move in there, a bit more, maybe even just nuance, a bit more melody, something that just stands out a little bit more, would just go a long, long way. But regardless, it's still an impressive piece. The production is solid. Everything sounds really good. A lot of talent here, without a doubt. So that's my thoughts here on Obertura and Cisma by Mythril. Let me know, folks, in the comments down below. What'd you think of this here? Let's talk about it all in the comments, and I'll catch you all next time. Ranger out.